Thumper Fab. Today I'm going to walk you through installing our new Elite box Nerf Rails on your HD11 Can-Am Defender. For the first step of the install process, we're going to remove the 6 OEM bolts that fasten your floor plates in your door jamb so that we can install our top body of the Nerf Rail. Here we have the top body in magma red. We're going to use our T30 Torx to remove the 6 bolts. We'll go ahead and get the top body mounted up. We're going to reuse these OEM fasteners we pull out of the door jambs to mount our top body. So make sure you set them aside and you don't lose any of them. With our OEM bolts removed and out of the way, we can go ahead and place our top body of the Nerf Rail in position. You can fasten it to the vehicle reusing the same hardware we pulled out in the previous step. You can go ahead and snug it up once you have all 6 of them started, and we'll move on to the next step. For the next step of the installation process, we're going to remove our bottom skid plate bolts that'll mount the lower body of the Nerf Rail, as well as our front T40 bolt that you'll find here in the wheel well. We'll go ahead and do this front bolt first, and then we'll lay on the ground and get all the skid plate bolts out of the way. With all of our OEM skid plate bolts out of the way, we can go ahead and mount our lower body to the vehicle by using the holes that are on the most inside part of the Nerf Rail body. Once we get those snugged up and started, we can mount the top to the lower body of the Nerf Rail and then return and tighten all our hardware. When you're mounting your lower body of your Nerf Rail to the body, you want to make sure and keep this metal spacer installed in your plastics that came out of the OEM bolt. Once we get that up in position, we can go ahead and reuse the OEM bolt. Once you get that started, we can snug it up using our T40 and move on to the other bolts. Just a reminder, when you're mounting the lower body of your Nerf Rail, you don't want to tighten anything up until you start the hardware that'll fasten your upper body to the lower body of the Nerf Rail. On the underside of the vehicle, you'll have these small M6 button flange screws that'll come in your hardware kit, and that's how you'll start the lower body in the holes where we removed the OEM bolts for the skid plate. With our lower body snugged up to the skid plate and our front bolt, we can go ahead and begin fastening our top and lower bodies of the Nerf Rails together. Just a reminder, we'll use our short M6 button flange screw and our flange M6 lock nut. You'll simply slide it through. You can put your flange lock nut in a deep 10mm socket and simply thread it directly onto the bolt. Just like before, we want to make sure we don't tighten anything up until we get all of them started, and then we can return and tighten all our fasteners. As you're mounting your top to your lower body of your Nerf Rail, you're going to want to start from the front and work your way to the back. Before you get to these 3 holes located here in the rearmost section of the vehicle, you'll want to go ahead and remove this OEM fastener you see here using a T30 Torx. Once you have that out of the way, we can install our rear mount bracket. This will actually slide underneath the top body of our Nerf Rail. Once you have it underneath, you can grab a long M6x30 from our hardware kit and thread it in to the OEM rib nut where we removed the OEM bolt previously. Once you have that started, we can go ahead and mount the last 3 bolts. Once we have them all started, we can tighten everything up. With all of our fasteners started, you can go ahead and tighten them all up using a 4mm Allen and a 10mm deep well socket for the underside of the body. With all your fasteners tight, you're ready to hit the trails and enjoy your new Thumper Fab Elite Box Nerf Rails.